Clinical Monday, the best way to begin a healthy week. Good morning to you and a happy Monday. Welcome to yet another exciting episode of Clinical Monday, where I did say, right, you begin a healthy week. Great. My name is Nkosi, and thank you so much for joining us. Behind the camera on all things technical, it is Happy Phaleng, and we invite you to be part of this conversation by leaving your comments or questions on the comment section below. We are live on Oran Popin's Facebook page. Also on X, it is at #ClinicalMonday, and you can get the conversation going there. www.popin.org. Get to the behind the scenes and make sure that you visit all our Pop-in sites in all 5 districts, 3 provinces. Yes, and you can get there and just chill and get the sense of the space. But here's what we are getting a sense of on this episode. It is the importance of therapy and psychosocial support, as we know that it is one of the treats that we offer right here at Pop. And joining us to help us dissect this, it is a social worker out at Oran Pop in Tshwane. It is Onica Ngulele. I need an audience. Where do we buy a crowd? Kidding. Hi, Onica.
Hi, V.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks, and yourself?
Great. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Let's just jump straight into it. Please break down what would be considered a psychosocial support or psychosocial support.
Okay, thank you so much V, for the question. When we talk about psychosocial support, we are talking about the support that we give to our clients and their families with the aim of helping them meet their mental, their emotional, their spiritual, and their social well-being. And we can do that through counseling or therapy.
I got you. So counseling, therapy, it sounds like 2 different things, or also they sound a little bit distinct from psychosocial support. Let's break down then what is therapy.
Okay, when we talk about therapy, we're talking about the treatment that we give to client with mental health issues like stress, depression, anxiety, and that involves talking with the well-trained professional or well-trained a therapist. So during the session, the therapist will help the client to cope with whatever the problem that they may be facing and help them improve their emotional well-being.
I've got you. We need to then understand how important it is psychosocial support and therapy, or either of the 2.
Yes, so therapy is very important because the therapist will help the client to be able to cope with any life or any stressful life event that they may be experiencing, and their mental health will be improved. So psychosocial support is very important.
Okay.
Yes.
What would then prompt one to go through either? So what would prompt me to say, today I need psychosocial support, or today I feel like I need to go to therapy, or I need counseling, some kind of counseling?
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of instances where one could seek for therapy. For example, if one needs help about something, you can actually go to the social worker and consult them. They'll help you.
Yeah.
And if one maybe is struggling to cope with maybe stressful life event like traumatic experience such as rape, or maybe one is experiencing the death of their loved ones, then they can seek for support. If maybe one is having relationship problems, they can also seek for support. Or if maybe it's a new couple that is planning to get married, so they can actually go to the social worker to say, can we have a premarital counseling session? Yes. So yeah, there are a lot of instances where one could seek for therapy.
I got you. We've actually had a conversation with a qualified counselor, Makabo Siopa, on mental health issues, and really a chunk of our conversation was based not only on mental health issues or how to have a better mental health, but also on the importance of psychosocial support and therapy. So make sure that you check that conversation out. It is up on our YouTube channel. It is Oran Popin, and also find us on Facebook. It is at Oran Popin. Leave us your comments and questions on the comment section below. Don't forget, on X we are at @in_health with the hashtag Clinical Monday. Onica, then what are you looking for during a session? Because let's say, for instance, somebody has had a traumatic experience, or they just want to want help with their depression or anxiety. What during that session are you looking for to be able to put them on some kind of help?
Okay, so what we actually look for during the session is to we expect the client to take a lead during the session. So the client must be the one talking. We expect them to express themselves verbally and openly. So in that way, as a social worker, I'll be able to get a clear understanding or a clear picture of what that particular client is dealing with, and that will help me to address their problems accordingly. So what we look for during the session is to come up with solutions to the client's problems.
It feels like I'm having a deja vu because I feel like we've spoken about this with Makhabu, and the way they also spoke about techniques of those that will come out during a session of how to deal with that problem, solutions to it, also takeaways from that session to say, when you go home, when you get there, if you're feeling anxious or you're feeling depressed, this is what you can do to help you cope with those. So I actually like that it becomes a team thing, because you need help and the person, and you are there to provide the help to the individual.
Yes, so what actually happens is that we apply the client self-determination. Yes, we allow the client to make their own decisions.
Yeah.
We help them to identify their problems and come up with their solutions to their problems. We help them to help themselves.
Got you. And I like that. We help them to help themselves. And what would determine if one needs help beyond just the session? So I get there, we're having a session, or it's more than 2 sessions or whatever sessions, but there's something that says, hey, this one needs help beyond us just having a session. What would be that?
Okay, that will be determined by the clients presenting problems. For example, the clients don't have the same problems. They have different problems. If one client comes to me and say, I'm in need of a shelter, obviously we cannot provide shelter in our organization, but we do have the external stakeholders that we work with. So that client's problem is the one that will tell me, this one need help beyond our session here. Then that's where I'll do a referral to maybe a place of safety where they'll further manage that particular client. For example, if the client comes in and present that they don't have food, obviously we don't buy food in our organization, then we'll refer them to the external stakeholders who are going to assist them with food parcels. Yes. So another thing that determines if the client need a session beyond our session is the nature of the client's problem. As I said, for example, if the client present the symptoms of depression, obvious, that's when I'll have to refer the client to the psychologist.
Got you. I want us to talk about the benefits of psychosocial support in general, but I wanted to say counseling and therapy, but let's just put it as an umbrella sort of response. What would then be the benefits for one to actually go through psychosocial support?
Okay, one of the benefits is that they'll have improved mental health, where they'll be able to cope with whatever mental health challenges that they'll be facing in life, and they'll be able to get more awareness about themselves. We're going to create self-awareness during the session, where we're going to help them identify their weak point and strong point, and use their strong point to cope with whatever life challenges that they may be facing. And another thing, during our session, we make sure that we equip them with better coping skills as well as better problem-solving skills. Yes.
I like that. There's a trend, I don't want to say it's a trend, but there's a word that has been used. People, you will hear somebody, and I wanted to, sort of marry that with the next question of how many sessions does one need if they're depressed? Because people who are depressed, so you are actually going through something that is tiresome, both emotionally and mentally, that you cannot express. So how many sessions then does that person need to, I want to say, maybe to be better, if they're experiencing depression or anxiety?
So there's no exact number of sessions that we can simply say we have 4 sessions or there are 4 sessions that the client need to go through. Remember, as people, we don't respond the same to treatment. It's the same as healing. Some people heal faster, some they take
a
slow
while.
to heal. So it's the same as the sessions. You will find that one will maybe need one, some two, some three. So people are not the same. So with us social workers, if I engage with you during our first session and I identify that you are showing the symptoms of depression or anxiety, it means that on the very same session, that first session, I'll have to refer you to the psychologist. If you're not going to show the symptoms or signs of depression or anxiety during the first, the second, or maybe show it in the third session, it means that after that session, that's wherein I'll have to refer you to the psychologist for further management. Yes.
Okay. So you actually get help. Last question, psychosocial support. I know one of the communities that really need or are facing a lot of mental and emotional, say, health issues would be, transgender people or gender diverse people. And then what would be psychosocial support for people who are on gender-affirming healthcare versus people who are on psychosocial support, who are on treatment, who were just newly diagnosed with either what you're talking about with TB or HIV or STI. Is that different, or is it sort of like is the same approach?
Yes, it is the same approach, but it's not really the same. Yes, so with the gender affirming healthcare services, the psychosocial support that we offer to our ladies, one of them is through our one-on-one counseling sessions before they start with the hormones. We make sure that we sit down with them, we prepare them mentally before they start or before they are initiated on hormones, because we don't want to find ourselves in a situation where we initiate our clients on hormones and later when they go through some changes, they come back to us to say they were not mentally prepared. So we make sure that we explain to them everything that the program entails and make sure that they are emotionally and mentally ready before they start. So we prepare them prior to initiation. Yes, so that's one of the support that we offer. The second one is through our empowerment session, our M group sessions, where we meet as ladies, where we'll be discussing different topics. Like, for example, maybe if we decide to teach each other about makeup, then that will be the topic that will be tackling for that particular day, and then the ladies will be engaging where they'll be sharing their knowledge, their experience, and then they'll be learning from each other. So those are the kind of support that we give to our ladies. We make sure that we call them just to check up on them, to assure them that they are not alone in this journey of taking hormones or in this transition journey. So we make sure that we are there with them. We tell them that if you feel like you want to talk to someone, we are here as your social workers. You can quickly come to our offices or you can contact us so that we can talk to you and help you. So we make sure that we walk the journey with them.
Most definitely.
Yes. So when it comes to other services like TB, PrEP, art, so the kind of support that we give to our client is through our one-on-one adherence sessions prior to their initiation. For example, if the client has just tested positive for HIV, then before they start with their medication, we sit down with them and make sure that we emphasize on the importance of adhering to medication. Yes, we do the same thing with the PrEP client as well. So we prepare them so that they understand that now the journey is starting. So what is it that they must do? What is it that is expected of them? Yes, and another thing that we do is to call them. So we make sure that we give them courtesy calls after 28 days of initiation to check up on them, to see how they are coping with the medication, to see if they are okay, if they need something, or maybe they'll have questions. So we help them in that way, and we make sure that we call them just to remind them about their appointment date, because we don't want them to miss their next visit. So we make sure that we call them, and if it happens that the client won't make it to our clinic, then that's wherein we make arrangements to go and deliver their medication at their place.
Most definitely. Wow.
Yes. So another
Yeah.
support that we do to the clients who are taking ART and PrEP is through our enhanced adherence counseling. For example, if we see that the client is struggling with adherence, or maybe their viral load is not suppressing due to some other factors, that's where we sit down with them and do enhanced adherence counseling. Remember, we do adherence counseling,
but then this is enhanced.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So those are one of the support that we give, and we also conduct the adherence clubs where we invite all the clients, or maybe 10 clients to come, so that they can share their experience and then they learn from each other.
Listen, that was a mouthful. What are some of the questions that you have when it comes to psychosocial support and really therapy and counseling in general? Make sure that you drop them down on our comment section. And you can call Onica if you pop in at 416 Cakeness Street at Loftus Park Shopping Center to get more on counseling, adherence, therapy, psychosocial support in general. Onica, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I'm learning a lot every time when I'll tell you this, mental health is one of my favorite topics because I think we just need to speak about it a lot, because a lot of people have mental health issues. Yes, I understand HIV and but mental health also is quite important. So thank you so much for your time and sharing a spotlight.
Thank you so much, Faye.
Alrighty, until the next one, on the next Clinical Monday, where we talk about other things, maybe stigma. Maybe you, because you angas, but then so on the next episode. Until then, happy streaming. Bye.